everyone. Today we'll be exploring email domains in ERPNext. The email domain is the name that will show up for an email network or service account that you are creating for your email services in ERPNext and other Frappe apps. If you use one of these services like Gmail or Outlook, you can skip to email account creation. In these situations, ERPNext gives you default settings and you might not need to set up a domain. You can set up email domains in ERPNext to make it easy to set up all of your email accounts. This makes it easier and more consistent to manage multiple user accounts on the same domain. To go to email domains, click on Home, ERPNext Settings, Email Domains. Click on Add Email Address. Your email domain is the part of your email address after the @ For example, if your email is you@yourcompany.com, then your domain is yourcompany.com. For example, here. If you access your mailbox using a URL, ERPNext still expects the domain to be yourcompany.com. ERPNext can also automatically guess your email domain when you enter your first email address. You must set up an email domain in ERPNext if you want to send and receive emails through your own domain. However, if you use a built-in provider like Gmail, you normally do not need to create an email domain manually. Just select the provider from the list and adjust your account settings. ERPNext also includes a demo email domain using example.com, but you should replace it with your real domain for actual use. The incoming server is the mail server your system connects to in order to download and receive messages from your email provider. It uses either IMAP or SSL depending on your setup. When someone sends an email to you@yourdomain.com, the message is stored on your email provider server. The incoming server settings tell your system where to look for those messages and how to access them. The outgoing server is the server used to send emails from your application or mailbox. This server uses SMTP protocol. When you compose a message and hit send, your system connects to the outgoing server. That SMTP server then delivers the email to the recipient's mail server. It matters because the outgoing server ensures your emails are authenticated, your messages aren't marked as spam, and delivery is reliable and secure. Turn this option on if your SMTP service supports TLS for safe communication. Then we have default here. The default port is port 25 for SMTP. However, if your email server uses a custom port like 587 or 465, type it in here. Once you are done adding all the details, you should save it. After saving the domain, check that the server and security settings you entered are correct. Keep the new settings for your email domain. This could take a few seconds. After saving successfully, the domain will show up in Email Account Setup Page Domain drop-down menu. When you set up new email accounts for different users or departments, you can now choose this domain. When you make a new email account, you can just choose the email domain you already have. This cuts down on the need for your manual entry and makes sure that the email is set up the same way on all accounts. If you have entered all the settings correctly and are still getting errors, make sure the server addresses, ports, and security settings are correct. Make sure that your email hosting company lets ERPNext connect to the outside world. However, if the problem keeps problems keep happening, get in touch with ERPNext support for help. Thank you.